go until I say. Ready, kids? All right, good job, lip dog. Extra careful, but like the rest of them don't have booties. Topsy only ever runs every other day. Topsy's in front of us on the left. So he's barefoot. Lip is in front of us on the right. Lip he's only going to tours usually just 2 days a week. So his feet aren't, I'm not worried about them. This is Gus. Hi Gus. They love to bark at Gus. Yeah, and like Even, she barely runs in harness. When they're under a year old. You got it, Titan. Yeah, boy, Titan. When they're under a year old, you make sure that you don't run them more than about 6 or 7 miles total. So Venus doesn't wear booties. Sana runs pretty often, but she doesn't have splits. She's got really nice feet. And so Sana's the third one up on the right. She also, every time we stop, she like obsessively pulls her booties off. So this morning I was like, Sana, you're gonna go barefoot today. And then Puya's got booties on. She gets splits, but she runs almost every day. If Sweetland was doing more than one run, I would have bootied her. Titan's got tough feet. He doesn't need them. And then Saturn is our leader on the left. She's got booties, but she had a split, a really tiny split in her foot. And like so small that I didn't even notice it right away. And she was limping like that. And I was like, oh my gosh, what happened to you? Like, do you have a pulled muscle or is your wrist messed up? Whatever. And I checked her out. I had friends look at her and nobody could find anything wrong with her. I figured out it was because of a split in her foot. She's just so sensitive to them that if she gets any splits, she's like, I can't even walk. And so I always booty her. Even if she's doing just one run, she's going to get booties on.
So at least you have to take your dogs at least one ride a day to go to America.
Ideally, yeah. But when I go to tours, I usually pack up the team that's going to be going for the day. And then those are the dogs that run. And I might bring a couple of dogs. They stay home. So I have, in my yard, I have 16 what I call main touring dogs. 4 dogs that are on semi-retirement. So those semi-retirement dogs, they go and do like one tour, maybe 2 or 3 times a week. So they don't run very much. The dogs that are on semi-retirement, because they're semi-running, they're also semi-pet dogs. So they get to do a lot more of the pet dog stuff. Sitting around, watching TV, getting to come to my boyfriend's house and sit on the couch.
They would like.
Yeah, that sort of thing. Because once they're fully retired, then they're 100% just pet dogs, and they get to live pet dog life. And then I've got 4 dogs that are under a year, and so like I was saying with Venus and Avon, they do very limited tours, just because they're still growing and developing, and you've got to be very careful with the youngsters to not overwork them, as tempting as it is. You don't want them to work too much, or they end up with, they can have arthritis earlier in life, or orthopedic issues. So 16 main dogs, and then 4 semi-retired, 4 puppies. Oh, Avon, good girl, you got it, kiddo. Not that scary, good girl, Avon. And then I've got 2 Jack Russells that are just, they chase squirrels.
Oh my God, you have a bunch of dogs.
I do, and then a Great Pyrenees mix, who's a livestock guardian dog, so he just kind of, he protects the kennel, he's more just a pet dog. And then, yeah, so I have 29 dogs total, but 16 are my regular tour dogs, and then I have 4 more that just kind of come in once in a while. I do tour 6 days a week at 3 different companies, so 2 days each at those other companies. And so I can rotate through who's going. So your question was, what did the other dogs do?
Yeah.
It's their day off, and because I rotate them so.
And when you go back home, they are not like crazy about like trying to do something.
Well, what I do with them is so they're getting exercise regularly, just maybe not that day. And then the dogs that had the dogs that had to sit out that day, when I get home, I put the dogs that just worked on their houses. The dogs that sat out, they get to go loose. So yes, I got that branch. So everybody gets off of their tether and gets to play kind of doggy daycare style play, whether or not they're actually working. So like Venus and Avon, almost every day they're running loose in the kennel playing. So they're still getting a little bit of exercise. They're just not working in harness.
How is the relationship between all the dogs that you have?
So I've only got 2 pairs of dogs that don't get along.
Okay, that's not good.
It's not too bad, yeah. For the most part, I just turn everybody loose and they can all play. I just have to watch Slip's brother Kev and a dog named Mimas, and then I've got to watch Sana and Rhea. So I just, either Sana sits on a house or Rhea sits on a house. And either Kev and Mimas, they're my only 2 intact males. And so if any female is any point near heat, just coming into heat or just coming out of heat or whatever, those boys get 0 freedom. So they got to keep their boy bits, but they don't get very much freedom. Avon, the red dog second up on the left, Arnica's dad, or Avon's dad, is Mimas, and then Venus's dad is Kev. So my other intact male. hybrid dog. They might even have some wolf hybrid. They would have maybe Siberian Husky or Alaskan Malamute, those sorts of things. But it's been Alaskan Husky to Alaskan Husky for so many generations that you can't really call them a mutt anymore or a mixed breed anymore. Yeah, and we haven't done a whole lot of line breeding. You know what line breeding is, right? Line breeding is one of the things that makes dogs or breeds of dogs look like cookie cutter exactly the same. You know, like breeding kind of close relatives. They call it line breeding when the dogs end up healthy, and it turns out. They call it inbreeding when they turn out weird. So it's the same thing, they just have two different names depending on how the puppies turn out. Well, you end up compromising health. That's where a lot of your genetic deficiencies come in, and where a lot of the health problems come in is that line breeding. With these guys, because we're not doing that, we don't give a rip what they look like. Their looks don't really matter because there's characteristics that are way more important than the way that they look. So like their health, appetite, they've got to have a good appetite. They're eating their food, they're getting their hydration and their calories. When I serve them food, it's warm and it's liquid. They got to eat it now. So appetite's important. Toughness of mind, getting through deep snow or open water or windy conditions or up mountains. I got to have a dog that's like, yeah, this is no big deal. Tough-headed, tough-bodied, those sorts of things. And so you end up with this really wide range of appearances. Even litter mates can look very, very different from dog to dog. Saturn up there, our leader on the left, the black and white one, she's running with her son, Titan. Titan, look at me. Hi, buddy. He looks nothing like his mother. And then behind, good boy, Titan. You're such a good boy. His brother is the dad to Avon right here, second up on the left. Like she looks nothing like the rest of them. Yeah, you would not be able to tell that she's out of her parents because she looks, both parents look completely different than her. And it's because there's a whole bunch of different genetics, which equals health and, you know, just this really great breed of dog that...
But there are some that they born like looking similar to their parents.
Sometimes, yeah. I don't have any good examples here.
No problem.
Sana kind of looks like her mom. Third up on the right, Nanners. Sanana. Hi, Nanners. Her mom is Saturn, so she's colored differently, but she's built just like her mom.
Yeah.
Do you want me to take your camera and get some photos?
Yeah,
for you?
sure.
Yeah.
You need take out the video. Here, there you go.